Hello, everybody. My name is Alejandro Sandoval. I work at the California Community College's Chancellor's Office. And today I'm going to give you a walkthrough on the K12 Strong Workforce Program 2020-21 K12 Strong Workforce Program application in our Chancellor's Office Nova platform. As you can see, I am on the Nova site right now. To access Nova, you go to nova.cccco.edu. And if you do not have a Nova account, please go to request access to Nova. Enter your information as far as your employer. If your employer is not listed, please check my employer is not listed. For the K12 Strong Workforce Program, you're going to want to click here in the K12 Strong Workforce Program and then check what you need as far as access. For this, you're going to want application create if you are submitting an application. And if you don't know, you can click I don't know. If someone else is lead on your application at your school, please make sure that they add you as a contact to the application they've already created so you don't create multiple applications. You can add additional information and then add the request. But if you already do have a Nova account, just like myself, you can use your Nova login, your password, and click login. If you don't know your password, you forgot it, forget your password, it will let you enter your email address that you use for Nova. You'll get a link and you'll be able to reset your password. So let's go ahead and log in. While we wait, I do recommend that you use Chrome for Nova. Although Nova will work on all web platforms, Chrome seems to give the least, if not zero problems. So please use Chrome. But if you're seeing something, if you're not seeing something that is supposed to be there, screenshot it, email the help desk, or enter a ticket here on the bottom right corner, and we can help you out. So once you've created an account, if you already are a Nova user, you more likely have bookmarks already. As you can see, I have a bookmark, an old bookmark. Go ahead and delete that. You can keep bookmarks, so you have multiple applications from different programs across either the Chancellor's Office or different divisions that you work with. You can actually bookmark those applications and you can go directly into bookmarks and you don't have to go into the program. Today, since we're looking at K12 SWP, I'm going to click into programs. I'll click into programs, go to K12 SWP, and then click into applications. As you can see, once you've created an account, have logged in, and have accessed the K12 SWP applications tab, you're going to be able to click this button here and create a new application. Please note that all K12 SWP applications are due by 5 p.m. October 16th, 2020. There are absolutely no exceptions to this rule unless you can prove that you've been working on the application, you tried to submit it beforehand and it didn't work. Please work on the application beforehand. Do not wait till the last minute to submit it or the last day to start working on it. Please work on the application. Give yourself a couple days to submit the application. And this way you'll know for sure that the application is submitted and that we received it and that you don't have to try to appeal for not being able to submit it on time. So as I mentioned, you're going to want to click Create 2021 Application. Add your pathway improvement name. This is usually decided by you at your school district that is applying. For today's demo, I'm just going to go and use drone pathway. And I'll put my lead agency because this is where I'm originally from. Winters Joint Unified School District. Shout out to Winters. And now I'm actually using our virtual environment called the Sandbox. So this won't actually affect the Winters application anyway, but I wanted to showcase what Nova looked like on the live website, and then what the process is going to look like. So it's exactly the same process. I'm just using our Sandbox so it doesn't do anything to the actual system. One thing I want to point out before we get started of walking through the application, you have an error stepper here. This is going to be a useful tool for you in case you are trying to go to the next portion of the application, or you're trying to move it from incomplete to complete and you don't know what's missing. If you click the error stepper to show, it's going to walk you through all of the different requirements that you have not met for that portion of the application. As well as you will be able to add a bookmark here on the top right. What I mentioned earlier, if you click this button, it will add it to the bookmarks over here. So you can go directly into your application and don't have to click through the programs. So let's get started. As you can see, the pathway improvement name that I gave this application has populated, drone pathway. For the application, we ask that you enter the region that you're going to be applying. So you select your region. Winters is in north far north. Start date and end date of your program. And then you can actually read the assurances and make sure that you can attest to the following assurances. For example, that you read the legislation and that this application will be in compliance with the K12 SWP legislation, that it's aligned with your district's LCAP, that's informed by the regional plan for strong workforce, it's informed by labor market information and regional priorities, and that it's staffed by skilled teachers or faculty, provides professional development opportunities for those teachers or faculty members. In addition, that you're going to be signing an MOU with CalPass Plus until we get a memorandum with CDE for sharing K12 data, and that this data can be used by policymakers, community college district, LEAs, and other demographic data to evaluate the progress in closing the equity gaps in the program access and completion. For this walkthrough, I won't actually fill in all the information that I will be showcasing to you today, but I will show you what each portion does and what the requirement is of each portion. So once you've filled out the pathway identification, you see you can go to the next part. One thing I want to point out, you don't have to go in order, right? You can start at pathway identification, and then for whatever reason you want to enter the budget, you can jump right into the budget and you can start entering that information. Please note, Nova does autosave everything, so there's no save button. Once you enter some data into a field, it's going to be auto-saving that data. As you can see here on the left, we have the workflow, and this is where you can jump through in these breadcrumbs and jump into the different portions of the application that you want to submit. My recommendation is to follow. If this is the first time you're doing the application, follow the intended path right here, and then you can jump around after once you get comfortable. Maybe you're doing a second application. Error stepper will help you too, but it's just probably going to be a little bit easier. So once you populate the LEA, who's going to be the lead, so you have to put Winters Joint Unified. You're going to see that we auto-populated, if it's a rural district, the unemployment rate, how much total ADA. We have a disclaimer where the ADA came from for this year due to COVID, whether you were awarded with the lead, whether you were awarded K12 SWP 1920 funds, you're awarded 1920 CTIG funds, and if you'll be applying to 2021 CTIG funds. Then you can add the participating schools that are going to be part of the application in the LEA, who's going to be the project lead or additional leads that you want to have access to this application, and then you can add K12 partner agencies. And to add a partner agency, simple as clicking add partner agency, filling out the data, so DOE, say the Workforce Investment Act Charter. We'll go with that one for now. And it will populate the same set of questions that you answered just to make sure that everything is covered. So once this portion is filled out, you can go to Higher Ed and Collaborative Partners. Here you can add the partners that you're going to be working with if they are a community college or if they are a other higher education organization. You can put the agency type, college, district, four-year college, university, and then the name. And it'll populate their address, website, region, community college district, and their contacts that you want to be notified on this application. And then you can also add the K12 collaborative partners. This can be a business that you're working with for the application. If they're not in there, see PG&E's in here, you can add create one. And here, once you create a partner, you'll add the partner roles and add a contact. Please note, when you're adding partners and you're adding for both the collaborative partners and for higher education partners, once this contact is added, they will be notified. So please make sure that you've let these contacts know that you are applying for grant funds and you are using their name and their organization on your application. As an example, I'll use Los Rios to show you what a higher education partner looks like. Here's the district. We don't have the address and website in Nova, but it populates where the region is, and then if you can add the contact there. If you want to remove an agency, you can go ahead and click remove agency, and it'll delete it. Same for collaborative partner, remove collaborative partner, it'll delete it. You cannot undelete it. You will have to do everything again. You can also click the guidance, minimize it, unminimize it, and there will be guidance throughout the application. So let's go on and move on to the problem statement and project objectives. For the problem statement, you're going to provide a problem statement that is concise, clear, evidence-based, supports a problem or need that K12 SWP efforts will address. You have 2,500 characters to answer this, and 2,500 characters is going to be the norm throughout the application. So be mindful of how much space you will have to enter your information. We'll also ask for some of the requirements. Be sure to include that it's informed by the local regional workforce, strong workforce plan regional plan. It's targeting underserved student populations. What are the challenges in current CTE pathways that the plan will address, and then evidence that supports the above needs. You can also use bullets, bold, italicize, add an ordered list, add hyperlinks. Just be mindful that you only have 2,500 characters. Same for the project objectives. You got to make sure that the target is improved access and engagement of underserved students. It's going to lead K12 students to post-secondary studies. And for these portions that I'm talking through as well, if you look in the request for applications, It really complements the Nova system, so you can look for additional information on what to add there, or the resources that we provided to you on the K12 SWP program website, where we have examples of what some of these things look like. I believe we have an example for the work plan and the budget, but the project objectives you might have to craft on your own. Excuse me. So once you finish those two portions, we are asked to enter the local regional economies. Our system is auto-populating this on your behalf, so you don't have to track down the unemployment rate at your county. But as you can see, we show if it's a rural school district. So Winter Joint Unified is a rural school district, and then it shows the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate would show if it's higher than 6.451%, that means that the unemployment rate is seen as a high unemployment rate and it would get special consideration. This is below that, so these would not get special consideration for the unemployment rate because it is below the 6.451%. We'll move forward, and you have to select whether or not you're serving underserved student populations. We provide our source for the annual adjusted statewide grades 9 to 12 dropout rate. You will put whether the proposed CTE programs is going to serve student subgroups that have a dropout rate higher than the state dropout rate. So is the dropout rate higher than 9%? Yes or no? Is it going to be serving unduplicated pupils? Yes or no? And will it serve K12 students that are defined as special pops by Perkins 5? Yes or no? Go on to the next part. Here you do the crosswalk to the California Department of Education industry sectors. What we've done here is if you're going to be targeting agriculture and natural resources, it crosswalks to the sectors at the California community colleges, just so we have better alignment in our data and are able to report a little better on who's applying and who was awarded and in which sectors. See here, you can select multiple sectors or even select all of them, but of course, be very specific in which sectors it's going to be targeting for this application. And then you can add the pathways and design purpose. So let us know, what is the purpose for each of these pathways and whether it's a new pathway, and select the pathway that it's in, or if you're also expanding a pathway, you can do that as well. We're going to go ahead and move on to the work plan. This is one of the examples that we provided for you as kind of a resource to give you an idea of what we kind of expect, but not necessarily to show itself as an exemplar of what it should look like. You're more than free to do your own thing. Ultimately, it's just us trying to give you an idea of how much content can fit into the Nova system and how you would fill that form out. For this year, you see that the work plan is actually embedded into Nova, so that's a great thing. This year, you do not have to download the work plan as a Word document and then re-upload that document. You'll actually be able to work on this form within Nova, and because with Nova and the requirement of the RFA, you have to select one of 4 strategies at least. So K14 pathway quality strategies. We're going to go ahead and click curriculum and instruction. As you can see, it dynamically auto-populates the card that you selected so you can respond to. So you need to answer curriculum and instruction, the strategies, the description of the work funded, list of project activities, partner role and responsibilities, number of students or teachers to be served, justification for requested funds, and return on investment. List of project activities, partner role and responsibilities. And then whether you're leveraging other CTE funds to support this work. Once you fill this portion out for the work plan. You'll be able to move on to the budget and match. Real quickly, I want to just let you know as well, as we mentioned before, that it's 2,500 characters for each of these, and that you can bold, italicize, underline, add hyperlinks, and add bullets in your responses to these. So that's always an option. Of course, you can just put plain text in your responses as well. So let's go ahead and move on to budget and match. As you may know, for this 2021, it's only financial match, no in-kind match, and the budget's going to reflect that. The new thing that we did too here is, instead of walking through the partner agencies, because you need a budget for everybody that's on the application, and per section, so like match, budget, we put it all under one. So Winter's Unified Budget, Winter's Unified Expenditure Descriptions, and then necessary, you would add the match. As you can see, we have the budget and match summary, how many grant funds are budgeted, financial match funds, total match funds. We have some guidance indicating how the grant funds will be spent. Understand that for all other LEAs that are not ROCPs operated by Joint Powers Authority or a COE, they're going to be 2-to-1 match. But if they are ROCP, it's going to be 1-to-1 match. You see that you have the expenditure years here. One thing that you will note this year as well, if you're only going to be entering expenditures in a few of these, one, we've added expenditure descriptions that we expect you to give us a little more detailed description on what those expenditures are going to go towards. So we have an example in the budget of what that might look like. But for this training, you can see I entered $15,000, and now it's telling you how much match is necessary, how much grant funds have been budgeted. But also, because I entered it in the 1000 object code, it populated a card here for me for me to describe my planned expenditures for the object code. Same thing, you can use lists. This one has 2,500 characters. This will happen for every object code that you enter dollars in. So you need to add a description to every object code that you enter dollars in. And for every K12 partner agency, same thing, you need to add a budget as well as a description to how those dollars are going to be expended. And then you can add the match for that participating school, excuse me. Yeah, multiple matches. Then you would add the match for all the ones that you need to add match for. As you can see here. One thing to note, it kind of looked like when I clicked on the match that it disappeared, but what's happening is it's just going underneath its proper institution, so it all sticks together. So financial match, you're going to put how much match you're going to get per object code, and then the source of the match. You have 100 characters. You can add the source and a little bit of reasoning. And then you'll get a summary of the total budget that you just entered. Once you completed the budget, you'll notice that you will need to upload the 1920 high quality CT program evaluation. So because I am using Sandbox, you will see that this is not up to date. This is actually a requirement. The link is 1920, so you have to use the 2019-2020 evaluation. This is that you can see on here. So in the latest node system, this actually says 2019-20, and so it does it as well as here. Let's just ignore that for today. There was tons of feedback on our British conference, and so management decided to go with the 2019-20 to make it a little easier for everybody, and Nova will reflect that. And that's actually what it says in the RFA. But in another portion, we will revise the RFA and communicate it out to the field. But as far as how this works in the Nova system, once you have completed this CTE program evaluation, which is required for everybody that's going to be on the application, so Winners Joint Unified, Workforce Investment Charter, you're going to upload that document, select the institution you're uploading the document for, so you're required, these are optional, look for the file, and just click upload, and it will populate here. Please note, other than CTE program evaluation, there are no other documents that are required, but you may upload agreements and MOUs or letters of commitment support to your liking, but they will not be scored. Once that's completed and you have all your different workflow items saying complete, 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 you will get a summary of everything that you've entered to date for you to review. And here you can go back and jump in, as I mentioned before, and look at the different portions. If you want to share your application before you submit it, you can. You can click the share button, enter the recipient. If they are in the Nova system, it will populate. You can also preview the print the preview, and you can add comments. So when they get that email, that they know that this is coming from you and that you're letting them know that you want them to review the application. Lastly, if everything looks great, you just click submit. You see I can't click submit because it's not completed, but you click submit and you would get a verification that your application has been submitted. If you have any questions regarding the Nova system, please feel free to reach out to K12 SWP at ccco.edu and we will help you out. You can also go to the help in the Nova system right here in the bottom left. And you can submit a ticket submission to get help. You also notice that once you have your applications in the system, you can look at all your applications under the K12 SWP applications. You can see these are just ones we created as an example. You could edit them, see the total ADA, total budget, and it will be per your LEA and institution. With that said, I want to thank you for your time and for viewing this video. We wish you best of luck on your application. As I mentioned, applications are due at 5 p.m. on October 16th. Ignore this as well because I'm in the sandbox. This is not entirely accurate. So applications are due October 16th at 5 p.m. Please make sure you work on your application before that and submit it before that. And if you have any questions, reach out to K12SWP at ccco.edu. Thank you.